Hi, I'm Dace, and I'm a security officer at eazyBI. What I would like to talk to you about is how we approach security and compliance aspects in eazyBI. And this is especially important in relation to customer data on, eazyBI Cloud. Okay. Yes. As more companies are moving from eazyBI data center to cloud, security and compliance have become quite a regular part of our everyday conversations, and we are getting more and more questions about yes, our security practices and compliance as well. So based on these vendor assessments and security screenings that I have participated in, I thought that it would be beneficial to talk to you about, yes, what is our security philosophy, how we are handling the data, the compliance aspect of this, and yes, also how shared responsibility comes into all of this. Because, well, yes, when you are moving to cloud, some things are changing a bit. But before we get into specific security controls, I wanted to touch upon a bit on what is our general security philosophy. And I, yes, wanted to start by saying that eazyBI has been built with security in mind from the very beginning. And this is connected to the background of our CEO and founder of eazyBI, Raimons Simonovskis, and his security experience influenced his decision to follow secure by design principles and secure development practices. So, yes, in our case, yes, security is actually part of the product requirements, so it's not just an afterthought, and it is definitely not something that we add to the product after, like as an afterthought. So, yes. And we have developed a great many security controls, and at the same time, we also do understand that also the security threats are evolving and the cloud environments are evolving, and also customer expectations are evolving, and therefore we must do our best to align with them. And so we do understand that you are trusting us with your data, and we have to be transparent on what controls and what security practices we can provide for you. And when we move on to this data security part, then the first question that we should be asking is, what data are we speaking about in this context? And that would be the data that you, eazyBI users, are choosing to import into eazyBI. And we are offering quite vast controls of what this data can be and what the restrictions can be. And yes, so you are in full control, and we are providing an option for you to do this safely. So in case of eazyBI for Jira Cloud, this import will happen with read-only REST API. And read-only would be the keyword here, because it might be a concern, but it is not a concern that when you are importing data into eazyBI and eazyBI is connecting to your Jira instance, it cannot and will not modify any of your data. And yes, so another quite important part would be so account boundaries. And So each eazyBI account data is stored in a separate database scheme, and it is isolated from other customer data. And of course, all data is encrypted in transit and at rest. And the reason why I am stating these points is that as Raymond's already mentioned, eazyBI has been moved to Forge, but even with this migration to Forge, eazyBI still uses Forge modules with Forge remote functionality. And yes, this means that eazyBI Cloud is still used for data processing. And the reasoning behind this, as Raymond's already said, is that this is the way how we can support the same performance and advanced analytics that you are used to. Yes. So I touched upon the data handling part and the data import part, and now the next question would be about where this data is stored and processed. So in the case of eazyBI, that would be Google Cloud Platform. And the really nice thing about having Google Cloud is that, first of all, it's a well-reputable vendor, and they have all of their security safeguards and reports available. And so that is very nice from security and compliance aspect. And so yes, for us, Google Cloud is providing physical, environmental, and infrastructure safeguards, which means also data center security and cloud platform security capabilities. And yes, also having cloud infrastructure and using Google Cloud Platform allows us to provide, to support some of yes, your compliance requirements. And two of the most talked about are data residency options and multi-region backups. So yes, in terms of data residency options, yes, you have European Union and United States of America and Australia options, and also we are doing multi-region backups, which are daily warm backups, and with backup locations stored at least 100 miles apart. And I'm mentioning the 100 miles because this is something that very often comes up in vendor assessments. So yes, and one more thing, which is more about this data residency. So this is not as much about how fast the product can work, but this is more for cases when organizations have some regulatory requirements or they have their internal policy-based restrictions. So this is a good thing for that. Yes. So I did talk about data itself, the cloud infrastructure, and another quite important part would be access management. So yes, first thing would be that eazyBI is not using the same permissions schema as Jira, and we have our own role-based access controls. So you can control who has access and to what data. And this is relevant both for your own organizational users and yes, and also this access control also applies to, for example, eazyBI support. Once again, if you have some regulatory or internal reasons why you cannot have eazyBI support having access to your data, then you have this you're provided with this opportunity to opt out from support access. And if you will be choosing this, so the downside will be that it will become a bit more harder to receive support from eazyBI team in the standard way, but at the same time, the upside and the benefit is that it can, once again, satisfy, for example, a regulatory requirement. And when I'm talking about this limiting support access, it is, I also wanted to note that limited database level access still will be available for us, and the reasoning behind this, once again, it's restricted. It is limited to certain use cases, and these use cases would be, for example, incident handling, and if we need to fulfill our obligations within data recovery procedures. So, yes. And one more thing within the access management scope would be the audit log feature. So in cases where, for example, you have moved from eazyBI Data Center to cloud, and in Data Center you were used to having access to all of your logs. It's a bit different in cloud, but still, if you have enabled this audit log feature, then you will be able to see the actions performed by users, and it also has some capabilities of retrieving, for example, an accidentally deleted dashboard. So, yes. So, these were the general facts about data handling, and one more thing, kind of still within this same scope, are AI assistants. So Raymond's already told how amazing they are and how useful they can be, but we also do understand that that once again, regulatory restrictions, for example, or internal restrictions on use of AI, and there's a case where you are not able to use our AI assistants. And this is the reason why I'm saying that AI assistants are also not a mandatory feature. So they are optional, and it is possible to also disable them. Yes, but at the same time, like I want to state this because it's an option, but I wish that you are able to and have chosen to use AI assistants. So in that case, if you still have some questions regarding exactly how they work and what's happening to your data, then we have provided quite a vast documentation. But I do understand that documentation might not be everyone's cup of tea. Therefore, some of the most asked questions would be whether external LLM models are accessing your imported data. And I really do want to state here that the imported data, your account imported data is not sent to external LLM models, and external LLM models do not store your user messages. And yes, so your user messages are definitely not used to train their models. Yes. And also regarding the services, so eazyBI assistants are using Anthropic Claude and Google Text Embedding models, and this is done via Google Cloud platform, Vertex AI platform. And I am mentioning this because it's relevant in terms of, again, data residency and subprocessing. And this means that eazyBI AI service integration uses the same Google Cloud Platform service where the eazyBI service is deployed on. So, yes. And that was the part about data. And now we can move on to the application security part. Yes. So I mentioned earlier that eazyBI has been is developed as so basically it is secure by design, and the most important part is that security impact is actually considered before the eazyBI app reaches you. So we have our software development lifecycle policy, and it covers secure development, it covers OWASP, and also the testing part. And yes, so we're doing both manual and automated testing, and it covers static and dynamic application testing and software composition analysis. And we also have automated vulnerable dependency detection and, yes, also bug bounty programs. So a lot within this scope. And while secure development and testing are a crucial part, still, security also very much depends on operational security. And we can test a great many scenarios, but no single team would be able to think of all possible conditions. And this is why we have our monitoring and logging tools. So we are using Google Cloud Logging and automated monitoring and alerting solutions. And we also have a wonderful DevOps team who's actively monitoring and responding to all of these events. So yes, and one more thing which I thought would be nice to mention is our status page. So we do believe in transparency, and this is a large part of our approach to security. And if we have an issue, if we have prolonged maintenance, then we reflect this on our status page, and that's also the place where we provide the reportable resolution information, or if there's a prolonged issue, the update information. So, yeah. I have told you a lot about our internal controls, and from what I've learned from participation in vendor assessments and security screenings is that these facts are nice, but you still need proof. And regards of this, this is where our external validation comes in, and this is why I also want to mention that eazyBI is still maintaining our SOC 2 Type 2 certification, and it covers all 5 of trust service principles, which are security, availability, processing integrity, confidentiality, and privacy. So yes, and the value of having this having this SOC 2 Type 2 certification is that it provides an independent validation that certain controls have been assessed and evidence of these controls has been reviewed. And it is also quite practical. I would say it's one of the most practical security frameworks and certifications in terms of that it's not only about getting this report once a year, but it is about having these controls in place and monitoring in place and auditable evidence, and it allows us to continuously show our practices over, this extended period of time. And also, this is the place where I wanted to mention our trust center. So we are using Drata for this, and that is our, I have not put the link in here, but it's available through our security page. That is the one single place where you can get access to all of our security documentation. This includes our SOC 2 Type 2 report, and also where you can see our monitored control status. So that is also a nice part. So there's a high chance that if you will be inviting us to participate in your vendor assessment, I will be referring you to our trust center and the documentation from there. So yes, and another thing also from this external validation part is our alignment with Atlassian's security guidelines. So currently, eazyBI holds a cloud-fortified program participant badge, and we actually do take these guidelines seriously, and we have already begun preparation for the requirements of the new upcoming security badge. So yes, and yes, so we, apart from our SOC 2 Type 2 certification, the Atlassian security program participation, we also have our bug bounty programs. And yes, so we have two. One is on HackerOne, and the other, which is the public one, is on BugCrowd. And yes, we are quite happy and quite I would say proud to have these, because having a public bug bounty program and even having two programs actually shows that eazyBI as a solution has maintained a certain security maturity level. So that is another nice thing. Yeah. Yes. So these all were the nice parts of how we're doing things and how we can assure you. And I hope that this would be a nice moment where I could also mention the shared responsibility part. And this is especially important for those organizations and users who are moving from eazyBI Data Center to cloud. And because some things specifically responsibility-wise are actually slightly changing. So from eazyBI's part, we maintain the service security, so we are responsible for the infrastructure, the application, the monitoring, and response. And we also provide quite a vast documentation on how to use eazyBI in the best way. But at the same time, eazyBI is a vast app, and it caters to a lot of different users and a lot of different organizations and use cases. Therefore, we have provided you with quite a few controls of how you can make sure that you're actually using eazyBI in alignment of what is possible and needed, required for your organization. So this means that one thing that I already spoke about, which is the data import. So you as users of eazyBI, your organization, you are in full control of what data you are choosing to import into eazyBI. And from your part, by importing data into eazyBI, you are also confirming that you have made sure that this data actually can be processed on eazyBI. And also, we have provided, once again, documentation and on the controls of what you have in regards to user roles and data access. And this also includes not only users from your organization, but also eazyBI support, and even if AI assistants are enabled. So yes, we are doing our best on providing all the information we can, and being transparent of the options we provide. And well, this is not exactly so there's the part that we can do, and then the other part is what you must also make sure that you are doing in terms of, yes, aligning with your organizational needs and requirements. So, yes. With this all being said, I do understand that I have mentioned a lot of topics, and not all of these topics will be relevant for everyone. But still, the main point that I wanted for you to take away from this presentation is that, yes, security is not a single feature. It is not a single certification, and it's an ongoing process. It has a vast scope. It combines technical controls and monitoring, and transparency and operational controls. And it is also, in a way, a shared responsibility. So yes, we do understand that you are trusting us with your data, and in turn, we are providing the technical controls and the open communication on this. Yes, so thank you.
Thanks, Dace. And do we have any questions to Dace about the security?